In this episode, I find a doggo in a tree, chop some logs, and review a bean. The bean itself is really airy and almost does nothing.
Scooty Pop Jr. Scooty Pop Jr.
I'm filming for multiple days, multiple weeks, and I only have but so much memory card space. So I'm doing backups, double backups, so I've got double copies of everything, but this is still a terrifying thing to have to do. Formatting the memory cards. Yikes. You gotta hope those backups are good. Welcome to another episode of Breakfast from the Tent. And I have decided that I think I'm gonna stay here one more night. It's fairly cheap, it's really comfortable, it's easy to be here, it's quiet, it's clean, the bathrooms are nice, the showers are functional. There's a lot to be had here, and I'm keeping an eye on, I'm keeping an eye on the weather and just trying to decide when I can make my next jump. And I think I figured out where I'm gonna go next, and I'll keep that a secret for now, but I found another place that looks like it's gonna be kind of a cool place to stay. And I just don't need to make sure that the day that I'm traveling there is not gonna be rainy. The issue is that this weekend looks like we're gonna have rain kind of everywhere in Hokkaido. I thought I might be able to escape it if I made a big jump, but it looks like that they have a forecast for rain as well. So let's get to the breakfast. It is I got this because it sounded weird. It's at the convenience store yesterday. It is a hamburger donuts teriyaki cheese. So a hamburger donut with teriyaki cheese. Okay. And it is, look, I'm assuming savory, but you never know. It might be sweet, you know what I mean? You never know what you get when you bite into bread sometimes. Okay. So it's a hamburger patty inside. It's kind of terrible. It's really not good. I don't see cheese. I don't see teriyaki sauce. I don't understand why they're writing that at all. It's like a dry piece of bread that maybe has been deep fried. And then a hamburger patty on the inside, and it's all cold. It's supposed to warm this up? Doesn't say anything about warming up. Okay. This is one of the worst pastries I've had from a Japanese convenience store. Yikes. Don't get this guy. Don't be tempted by the weird name. Got everything packed up at the campsite for the day. Not the tent or anything. I can just leave that and all my clothes and stuff. It's fine. But anything with any value, like computers and stuff, I put into Scooty and bring it with me just so that, you know, if there's a foreigner there, they don't steal my computer. That's basically what it is. Come back over to a convenience store on my way to a thing that I'm going to hopefully do. And that breakfast I had wasn't cutting the mustard, so I've got myself a green smoothie, which is really good, a lot of vegetables, and banana in a bag. These are two things that I enjoy quite often. This is not a Hokkaido specialty. This is an Eric specialty. Wonderful breakfast time. Spent a little longer at the convenience store having breakfast than I anticipated. It's now 10:19, so I guess I was there about an hour talking to an Australian fellow that I met, and he's been hiking and camping around Hokkaido for a while, so he got some cool stories and some fun insight. And now I am back on the road, and I've got about a 43-minute drive further from where I'm at now, so something a little over an hour total from the campsite to get to a thing that I'm not sure is going to happen or not, but at the very least, it's super beautiful out today. And we're supposed to mostly have great weather. There's a chance of rain for like a minute later in the day, but hoping it'll hold out and we'll just have clear skies like what we've got now. And man, tunnels are cold. Good Lord, is it cold inside of them. You go in and like temperature drops like 20 degrees. And yeah, that's the plan. Oh, by the way, I'm listening to a band called Antitainment. If you like kind of like quirky, weird, hardcore music, you should look them up. They're great. Have I mentioned before just how nice the roads in Japan can be? Sometimes you're just coming down off a mountain in kind of a remote area, and it's just absolutely beautifully maintained roads, smoothly curving back and forth. It's got to be some of the nicest driving in the world. You don't have to worry about any potholes, you don't have to worry about anything hitting your car, all you got to worry about is bears. The drive has brought me down out of the mountains and through a lot of fields, cornfields, different types of farms and stuff, and just a straight road that feels like it goes forever. Kind of feels like driving through the middle of America, to be honest. And I'm down in an area called Kitami, and this is one of the first things I saw. Is it just me, or does this look like that thing from The Little Mermaid? You know the one. The one with the drawing. It's a Michi-no-eki. So it's like a roadside stop, and they had, the reason I stopped is because of this. I'm actually kind of hungry too, so I'm gonna pop in and see if they have any snacks I can maybe fill up on a little bit. I'm kind of close to my goal for the day, so yeah, a little break to stop. But man, it is hotter here than it is up in the mountains, like a lot hotter, and it's like cooking my brain just like standing out here in the sun. It's like so bright and ridiculous. I think it might be mostly though that the humidity level just goes up when you come down closer to sea level. I think we're about sea level now, or getting closer to it. So man, just if you can get up in the Japanese summer, it helps a lot. So anyway, let's go in. It's gonna be weird, I can already tell. As I sit back, it's weird. You got these dudes. This is like a game, I guess, called Woodman. I don't see a place about money. I guess it's free. All right, we're gonna give this a go. I think it's supposed to be 2 players, so I don't know. Okay, real talk, it's kind of cool. It's like lame in a way, but like it's free and it's in this little room. It's like weird to come across this, but it's built really interestingly. There's something like classic about it. It's not just like a screen or whatever. It's a little hard to do with only a single person, but yeah, there's just something nice about how mechanical it is. Here's something I found interesting. In Japan, when they teach kids music, they don't teach them like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G, how many over there? Yeah, G. On the musical scale, they teach them do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. And check out our bros. They know it. Let's see what the second floor has for us. Some creepy bros. A creepier bro. I think at some point this thing makes music. Maybe at like the top of the hour. What time is it? It's 11:38. I don't know if I have 20 minutes to stand in here and wait for these creepy bastards to serenade me. I think something's gonna happen at noon. Some serious shit is gonna go down. They have a lot of peppermint and mint flavored things here, which is kind of peculiar because mint isn't really a flavor that's in a lot of Japanese stuff. I think Japanese friends that I've given strong mint flavors to are kind of like, what is this? It's not that it's like completely unheard of, it's just weird to see that it's like a thing here. We got mint showers and all sorts of different candies and stuff. All right, I couldn't resist. Got some peppermint beans. I looked it up, and Hakka is a Japanese peppermint. I'm not sure if it's different than other types of peppermint. Yeah, let's give it a try. I just couldn't resist the peppermint on the bean. That's a double whammy for me, man. Oh, whoa. Oh my God, the smell. Hold on. Let me hit that shit hard. Holy smokes. Oh, that's really fun. Kind of like the texture of not Boston baked beans, those are smooth, but the other ones, you know what I mean? Like the little, it's got ridges, like edges or whatever. I don't remember what those are called. The bean itself is really airy and almost does nothing. A little bit. Most of the flavor is obviously overwhelmed by the peppermint. But it's, I would say like on a scale of 1 to 10, how pepperminty is it? Like a 7. When you huff the bag, it's like a bit much. But the peppermint flavor is definitely refreshing and like cold feeling inside your mouth, but it's not like dangerous, you know. It's not. I mean, it's not like a wasabi snooter, you know. They're a bit expensive though. It's like 400 yen or something. They got me good. It's noon, I forgot. I sat here munching my beans. I completely forgot about the time and that thing was... It's doing it now, hold on. What the fuck? These bros have got some jams, man. I have come just a couple of blocks away from the Motorbiking that I was at, munching peppermint beans, to a little shokudo that has amazing reviews on Google, and it's like a whole bunch of local people. Like I come here all the time, so it's like, okay, I'm gonna go. They got a bunch of different things on the menu, but I'm in the mood for a curry. I've been having, usually eat a ton of curry at home, but haven't had any in a while, so it's time for some curry rice. Got hamburg thrown in it, and the vibe here is, let's put it this way, local. Lady's really friendly though. It's really good. It's like construction working food, but top tier construction worker food. There's onions cut up into it. The flavor is basic, but it's just like the right amount of basic. Does that make sense? Like it's rich, not like a complex flavor. It's just like a richness of curry that you're just swimming in. The rice is in good shape. We got some pickled stuff. We throw into the curry for a little bit of variety. And it looks like maybe like an egg soup. The other patrons in here are like construction workers that are like smoking and stuff. These guys. Yeah, this is great. This is like a perfect food. One thing is for sure, that was a lot better than the hamburger that was in my bread this morning. Gnarly little floppy patty. That thing was horrible, but this was pretty good. If I lived in this area, that'd be like a regular place. I'd just come here all the time. The staff was super friendly. The food was really good. The prices are fine. It's so local and like low key. I asked for a receipt because like we take pictures of things to try to track them, and she was like, "We don't have receipts." That's how like local this place is, if that makes sense. I scooted another like 2 minutes, and I've come to a fox farm. I didn't know those words went together, but it says it's a kitsune bokujo, just that's fox farm. So I don't know what to expect, but I have some guesses. All right, I paid my 500 yen, and now I'm in the fox farm, and I'm seeing some foxy foxes. Did you guys know that foxes can climb trees? All right, it's basically what I thought. You can go into this area and there's just foxes everywhere. Like, there's a fox right here. Just chilling. That's okay, you're good. You don't gotta move, I'm in your house. And it's already worth the cost of admission since I found out that foxes can climb trees. like really good. Like it's bouncing around on a tree like a monkey. It's like 500 yen to check that out. And I don't know how I feel about stuff like this. Like some animal things like zoos and stuff, I'm kind of like, eh. You know what I mean? But when it has this big opened area and stuff like this, I don't know, how much room does a fox need? Are they happy like in this kind of area? We went to something that was similar to this with bunnies. That was fine, like a big opened area with bunnies running around, people were feeding them and stuff. You're not allowed to feed the foxes here, but that's probably good. They can limit their diet in like proper manner, etc. So, I don't know, it's kind of a gray area in my mind. Like, not a fan of zoos, open air stuff is a little better. The one thing that's a bummer, they do have a little bit of zoo-esque thing going on. All the fox cubs are in a cage together. I'm not sure if that's for a reason. And then there's also 3 tanukis in cages. I don't know why the tanukis are in little cages. I wish the tanukis were out flying around doing whatever, shape-shifting. This one looks a lot different than the other ones. It's darker by quite a bit. Oh, they're just kind of majestic looking. Not happy with my camera though. Getting a chance to like watch how they move around, they are so like a dog and a cat together. They have this gracefulness that a cat would have. But there's something about the motions and what they're running around doing and sniffing things and stuff and the way that a dog does things. It's very much like somebody just merged those 2 animals into one. Bro, this one just went over to this one who's just sitting there and pissed on its head. That is some serious cat energy. That was an appropriately priced experience. I got to find out for 500 yen that foxes can climb trees like a ring-tailed lemur. Shoot me in the comments if you know what that's from. And now I think what I need to do is scoot because it's hot, but I think the sun is going to eventually give way to some thunderstorms that are perhaps going to roll in later in the afternoon, and I don't want to be a part of that. But man, this heat, I see why the foxes are just stone cold chilling. And the smart ones have found concrete that's in the shade. Hopefully I'll go back up into the hills and get out of this. My plan was to come down into this area and stay in this area for a few days, but now I'm just like thinking maybe not. I'm gonna have to really check what the temperature is gonna be before I make that decision because this is unpleasant levels of hot. Okay, one stop before I leave. Kiwi popsicle. I just recall, I was like, is ice, no, what is ice in English? What is this called? Popsicles, I got a word. 7-Eleven, oh man, it's really rich. It's good. These things are amazing. Go into 7-Eleven, get a popsicle. At least if you're in Japan, I don't know what they're going on in your country. But this is great. I just need a couple more to hold in my pockets on the ride home. Keep me cool, man. Headed out of Kitami, out of this heat valley, and hopefully up into the mountains where it's cooler. And hopefully it's not raining at all. Some of those clouds look a little like maybe, but I checked the radar and it says there's no rain, so I think I might just be worried for nothing. It's okay, I've got my rain gear with me even if it does happen. Just for reference on the heat, until just a second ago, the temperature on my dash said 41. And the humidity is really high. It's like not a good place to be down here right now. So the place that I'm hoping to go to, I was thinking about going there tomorrow, is this little town called Kyde. And I've been there when I was hitchhiking, and it's on the coast. And I'm gonna have to see if maybe the temperature is more tolerable down on the coast. But I found a pretty cool place to stay there, and it looks like I would have access to checking out some cool stuff while I was there as well. Some of the things I've seen before and I've always wanted to see again, and a couple of things that I was hoping to see that I didn't get a chance to last time. So we'll see how it works out. It's all just kind of being driven by weather, so as long as it's not a horrible rainy day, then I'll move. But if it's rainy tomorrow, I'll just stay put because where I'm staying is totally cool with the rain. Even in the tent, it's totally fine. Just getting into the cloud cover has helped the temperature drop significantly. Scooty thinks it's 36 now instead of, what was it, 42 earlier? But it just feels so much nicer to have a little bit of a sun blanket above me. Let's just hope it doesn't drip. I'm driving past a peppermint field right now. It's labeled Hakka. So I guess they do grow it just up here, and that means that the peppermint on my beans is local. That's pretty fun. It kind of smells like peppermint too, to be honest. Not intensely. I want to go stick my nose down in that field. One of the fun aspects of riding a motorcycle around Hokkaido is other motorcyclists wave. This doesn't happen in Tokyo, but I guess most of the people that are up here on motorbikes are kind of on trip. So there's like a brotherhood among the motorbikers, so you're always giving the wave, or I got a couple of salutes once. Man, that guy's going fast. I am doing 70. Holy smokes. Came back into the Onsen down to hit the convenience store, get some dinner and some breakfast, and it's just like there happens to be a deer. It's like right here in the island. Like cars come around all over here, and we've just got a deer getting a munch on. Some modern problems, modern solutions type thing. We're out here in the wilderness, but I need a mirror. I don't have a mirror, but I have a camera with a flippy screen. So this is what I do. I set the camera up on a tripod, stand in front of the tent, and look crazy. You know what's weird? I never see Japanese people put sunscreen on. So I sometimes wonder if this isn't something you're supposed to do. Like, in public or something. I definitely, no, sometimes you see women put it on, like, in their car at the park. I guess I have seen that, but I don't think I've ever seen a man put on sunscreen, whatever it's called. I also have note, we always do these reviews about things. Guys, if you haven't had Japanese, or I think Asian sunscreen, if you like living in America with that banana boat or whatever, I'm sorry, you aren't living the life. This stuff is amazing. It just like absorbs into your skin magically. It doesn't leave any weird residue on you. I heard that there's some, like, the FDA or something in America hasn't approved new formulas or something in a long time. So it's some sort of like political scientific issue. But all I'm saying is if you come to Japan, stock up on this stuff. What is this one? This one is Nivea. It's really good. It feels good to put on. It's SPF 50. There ain't no sun getting through all that. You are good to go. All right. And I'll just wear a hat again in the sun. But you can kind of get the back of the head a little bit, just in case. Back of the neck. All right. Thank you for coming to my beauty products review. I expect all of the beauty product influencer companies to come at me now. They actually already message us all the time and like, we see that you wear lots of makeup. Like talking about Katie. Like it's like these like just like bullshit emails that just like they just like fire out to everybody that's got even an ounce of following, trying to get them to promote their stuff. I'm just like, Katie doesn't wear makeup. What are you guys talking about? I probably need to be a little more vigilant about using this on my wrists. Nothing fits me. So this sleeves only go to there. And it's problematic. It's just that I just go, yeah, I don't need it. But I probably do need it. Hey, so this next bit is going to be kind of confusing because I didn't explain it as well as I should have in the video. But essentially what happened is that when I went on this trip, at the beginning of the trip, I forgot to give you guys an introduction to Scooty. Like, what is a Scooty? Who is Scooty? What are Scooty's favorite things? I didn't say any of this stuff. So when I was leaving Hokkaido at the very end of the trip, I was like, oh, I should film a thing and do an introduction and then put it into the video series earlier, right? So first off, I forgot to do the introduction. Second off, I forgot to put it into the video series earlier. So I did a couple days ago remember, I shot that introduction thing. I'm gonna drop it into this video. So that's what you're gonna see in just a minute, is an explanation of who Scooty is right before I get on the boat to leave Hokkaido. However, this is not the end of the Hokkaido series. There will be more stuff coming. It's just I had to move things around, and you'll see I didn't talk about it as clearly as I perhaps should have. Just be aware this is not the end of the Hokkaido series, even though it sort of jarringly seems like, oh, he's at the end now? What the hell happened? Like, what, we were in a boat now? What? We're not in a boat yet, but we will be eventually. But first, we've got a few more things that we're gonna be checking out in Hokkaido. So stay tuned for that kind of thing. Bells, subscribe button, yada, yada, yada. Also, I'd like to say thanks to everybody over at Patreon for making these series possible. All the series possible. All the videos we've ever made basically are supported through Patreon. And we have such a small YouTube channel that we just don't have the ability to survive off of like ad revenue and like selling you jewelry and VPNs and all that stuff that all these other people do. It's just not a thing. Without direct support, we can't keep making videos. So everybody that has helped us out over on Patreon, it's super appreciated. And if you want to see these videos to continue coming, then checking out our Patreon down below would be a good thing to do. You get perks, early release, postcards, discussion videos, things like that. We also have a bunch of other social media networks, the Facebooks and the whatnots. It's all posted down below. The one that I would super recommend though is checking out Twitch. And if you're not aware of what Twitch is a live streaming platform, and we do this thing called IRL live streaming, which is in real life, where we go out and we live stream like walking around doing stuff. And we sometimes are at home, but a lot of times I'd much prefer we go out on motorbike rides, and it's cool because we get to interact directly with you guys. You guys can type in chat. We can see it, or I listen to it sometimes if I'm driving, and we can have conversations, and it's a fun place to just build a community, and that communal conversational aspect of it is very unique, and it's a lot of fun. So anyways, if you're into that, check it out. Twitch is linked down below, as well as everything else, and we'll have more coming soon. So stay tuned. Hello from future me and Scooty, a much dirtier Scooty and maybe a longer bearded me. I realized that at the beginning of this trip, I should have introduced you to Scooty, but I didn't realize this until we were almost finished with the trip. So here we are doing it right before I get on the ferry to leave Hokkaido. Spoiler, we don't die. We leave on the ferry probably. We're gonna probably, maybe soon. So anyway, Scooty is a Suzuki Bergman 2022 and a 400cc variant. And the reason that I got Scooty instead of a motorcycle is mostly because of the lengths of my legs. And if you can see this, when I come on here like this, I can put my legs out in a couple of different places. And this is wonderful because on a regular motorcycle, the distance between the seat and the pegs is like this. And that is difficult for me because that distance it's just like, it cramps me up. And when I was doing my motorcycle classes, I was doing them on a 400cc CB400 Honda, and it was just like a nightmare. I would be on the bike like this, and they'd be like, you have to have your feet flat to the ground. And it was impossible. Like I couldn't do it because of how long my legs are. And like, keep in mind, I'm 6'7", 2 meters tall. There aren't very many things that fit me in life, period. But this actually does fit. The other things that this does, and this is wonderful for me because we want to do touring like we've just done, and we want to do touring with Kyde eventually. This has the ability to carry a lot of stuff. The underside of the seat has got a tremendous amount of room that you can stuff a lot of stuff. You can fit 2 helmets underneath of it. And I've added a top case on the back, and the top case is big enough to hold 2 helmets as well. And right now it's full of a whole bunch of other crap. And then I've also put 2 soft bags on the sides. And the soft bags are expandable and can hold a lot of stuff. So on this trip, I have had a tent and a big sleeping bag and all of the camera gear and everything, and a computer and a bunch of batteries and all my clothes and dirty clothes and rain gear, and the amount of stuff that is on here is astonishing. And I didn't even use the back seat. A lot of these other motorbikes that you'll see here are back seat piled up, and that's how they're able to get all of the stuff that they want along the road for touring. But this has got room for all the stuff and a Kyde. Now, if we add Kyde stuff, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. But the main goal is to do touring. Other upsides of this bike are that even though it is a scooter, it is not small. and its engine is not small, and it'll go fast. Like, it'll go faster than I am brave by quite a significant amount. So it's not off the line a rocket like some motorcycles will be, but I can do highway speeds easily with all this stuff on here, and I'm sure even once I add kyde onto the back, it'll be no problem at all. It is an interesting driving experience though, because you don't shift and it doesn't shift. It's got, well, depends on how you look at it. It either never shifts or always shifts. It's got a continual variable transmission, which is like this cone thing with a band on it. And as you accelerate, this band, because of centrifugal force, goes down this cone and quote unquote changes gears infinitely, or doesn't change gears at all, however you want to look at it. So when you twist the throttle, you just get continual power. And even if you're going fast and you twist it, it feels like you're driving an electric vehicle. It just goes. There's no lag or anything for it to shift and change gears or reset itself or anything. So that has been actually kind of a fun experience, even though shifting can be kind of fun, like you're in the hills and the mountains and stuff, like shifting around, it's good. Another feature that I like about Scooty McPuff Jr. here, Scooty Puff Jr., is that it has a parking brake, which seems like a bizarre feature for a motorcycle, but it's really nice to just slam that parking brake on and then not have to squeeze the brakes, and you can stretch and stuff, and it's not going anywhere. You can park on hills and weird angles and stuff, put the parking brake on, you can be certain that the bike isn't going to go anywhere, which is something you could accomplish with a geared bike, of course. Just leave it in first gear or something, I guess. Like, that's how you would do that. You do that with a car, and then it wouldn't roll anywhere. But since you don't have any gears, or you have infinite gears, however you want to look at it, then a parking brake comes in handy. And this thing is super comfortable. Like, I could ride this 8 hours a day, and I have been doing that on this trip, and it's fine. Like, I feel great. Mostly, I think, because I can like get my legs into different positions. That really helps. I can't express how much that helps. Another thing that's kind of nice about Scooty is that there is nothing here. So just like getting on is very simple. You don't have to like throw your leg over a motorcycle or anything. And I don't know, it's just, I love it. It's the best scooter ever. I'm super, super happy about this guy, and I'm looking forward to more adventures on him. And I guess from here, you get to see the rest of this adventure. I don't know where I'll drop this video in, however it makes sense, but I figured I'd get it done now, because if I don't do it now, I'll never want to do it in the future. Basically what I mean about that is just going back and filming is just like, I don't want to go out and set it all up and film and everything. I don't know. Doing it in the moment is really easy, but doing this a one-off in a day, it's like hard to get it rolling. We had it rolling, so roll with it.
Angry.
Squeak.
I've seen his face before.
Give him a squeak.
What? Eric, could you hear?